Hey gents, Amersil here. I've struggled getting some of these premium coal-acquired cruisers, and also the battleships,
General quarters.
to work well for me. But I finally had a pretty decent game in the ship in the Alaska last night, and I thought, well, this would be a good one for me to put up on the YouTube page and share for anybody who's maybe similarly struggling with the ship. You'll see here that right out of the gate, our Neptune, he decided that he was going where he was going, and if it was in my way, well, it was just too damn bad. So I just ended up just slowing down, giving him some room. One thing I wanted to touch on for the three of you that might be watching this, I wanted to get some opinions about just kind of how you feel about the WOW's events of late. There have been some fairly complicated events, in the 3+ years or 3.5 years, I guess, at this point, that I've seen. But it does seem that they may be getting a little bit more complicated now. I have no idea why somebody did that. Now, maybe it's just me, but, I looked at this, the new French DD release event, and all I'm doing here, as you can see, is I'm just trying to get behind this island as quickly as possible. 6 people targeting me. I know there have got to be shells in the air already. And I think, if I remember correctly, get whacked for about 4,500 or so here before it's over. It seems unnecessarily complex to me. I guess 7,500. And this complexity is, at least to me, doubly perplexing because it's all really geared around early access to ships that we'll all be able to grind to if we want in another month or two. And when I looked at, and I don't know if you haven't, then probably some of this isn't going to make sense, but when I looked at the current event, kind of the several pages of information on how it all works, there were upwards of 30 different final loot box possibilities, I guess is a good way to put it. So the way this works, if you haven't looked at it, you acquire these new French tokens for this particular event, and then you can use those to unlock a series of rewards, each that is required before you can get to the next reward. I think there are 4 of those with, we'll say, fairly minor rewards. And then at the last stage, when you finally open that, there's a chance to unlock the Tier 9 French Mogador DD, which is it's not a premium, it's just a factory ship that in another month or two will be released to everybody. But that you have, when you look at what the possibilities are of whether that can happen for you or not, and I didn't count them, but we'll say that there are about 30 or so different potential boxes that you can then open as you get to that final stage. I know this seems a little bit weird, but each of the preceding stages you just accomplish certain things and you win certain awards, and then you're able to progress to the next stage. But in the final stage, the way that it works is we'll just describe it this way. Let's just say there are about 30 different possible rewards that you can win, but it's all the roll of a die. It's just random chance which of those, and again, I don't know the number, but I'm just going to use the number 30, which of those 30 possible outcomes that you'll end up with. And you have to spend 1,000 doubloons to be able to open whatever it happens to be, whatever one of those 30 different possibilities it ends up being. So if you really wanted the Mogador and you were just convinced you had to have it, you could potentially have to, I'd love that. I'll admit it. That shot made me grin. You potentially have to spend a significant amount of doubloons, which of course equates to, real money, in order to get to that moment. And I think myself, I feel like it's a little overcomplicated in that a lot of us playing this game don't have the time or aren't going to make the time to look through and read through carefully and really kind of analyze everything having to do with these event awards and kind of how it's structured and how it works. Now, I'm not saying that Wargaming is doing anything wrong here, because I don't think they are. And I don't blame any company for doing things to generate income. I mean, that's really the whole point. And I love this game. I think it's a really good. So again, I have no problem with that. But it does seem to me that there is an unnecessary level of complexity sometimes in these events that for a more casual player can be a little bit confusing, because if you don't spend, depending upon how quickly you read and how many times you have to read something in order to really get it, especially something that is a little complex like this current event, it just feels like there's room for people to misinterpret. And I know that there was one guy that was on the forums saying, look, I didn't read this carefully enough, and I thought, when I reached this point, I would just unlock the door, but no, it doesn't work that way. And then, when he thought he was unlocking the Mogador, and then he realized, oh shit, there's like 30 different possible things here, and I've already spent doubloons. And so that kind of gets to the heart of what I'm trying to say. Oh, this is another tasty shot here. It seems to me that there's an unnecessary level of complexity that, whether I believe it's true or not, because I don't, I think leaves room for a lot of players to feel like they're being taken advantage of. In particular, people who are really busy but who love this game and are contributing to this game financially, but don't feel that it's maybe fair that they're asked to spend 30 minutes to an hour or maybe longer to figure out all the intricacies of a particular event. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that and talk about that a little bit and kind of get your take on that. What do you think? I mean, do you even pay any attention to the events? I know not everybody does. Some people just play their games, and if they win something from an event, great. If not, but some of us, we read through it and spend the time and kind of try and figure it out, and then we can plan accordingly. Do you do that? And if you do that, what do you think about the way that the events are structured? Do they seem overly complicated to you? Does it seem about how it should be? What's your take on that?
Our victory is in sight.
Anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch on that. At this point in the game, I'm thinking, okay, we got a Bismarck and a Buki, and they're only going to have me to shoot at here, so how fast can I get that rock? Yeah, that hurt. Lightning very kindly smoked up for me, which is really appreciated. Gave me a +1 for that. So anyway, I guess that's enough about the whole event thing. Around this time in the game, I was starting to realize, hey, I could potentially end up with Kraken here. So you'll see, I initially was thinking, well, I got to try and finish off the Ibuki, but since I rolled through this smoke, I just kept accelerating and decided eventually I'm going to have to put guns on the Bismarck. Buki's angling away. See, I just ricocheted 6 shells on a Buki. So I'm going to help the Yamato finish off Bismarck before Bismarck rams him. Just waiting to make sure my shells clear Yamato.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Okay, now that's 4 down. I have to admit, I'm a little excited about the possibility of being able to maybe finish off the Ibuki. Somebody really helped me out there. And I just kind of spread the shots out, hoping at least one would land, because, hey, only 1,065. And there we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Now, take a look at the time left in the game. Still over 9 minutes left. This was a really severe beatdown. I kind of feel bad for the red team here, because we've all been on that team. Now at this point I'm thinking, well, I got the crack at him, we got the game in hand, so that's why I was pushing at him, but, you know, the game was over. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it. See you next time.